Before heading to Clash in Italy, WWE rolled into Ohio for a packed go-home show before the PLE this weekend. What went down when Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Hogan Femi and Brock Lesnar were under the same roof? That's what happened on the Memorial edition of Raw, and yet there was a lot going on. So without further ado, let's get straight into things. 1 week after Brock Lesnar made his return and attacking Hogan Femi, Daniel multiple F5s and setting up the stage for Clash in Italy, Heyman kicked off Raw by hyping a match that does not need it. He threw a pre-tape promo from Lesnar, who vows Femi win in Las Vegas would cost him more than he could ever imagine, before conceding he was humbled at Mania. Heyman claimed Femi has been awakened by the beast incarnate, but before he could finish his sentence, the Ruler's music cut him off. The former NXT champ entered the ring, backed Heyman's the corner and issued some moments of warning, saying that he would be telling the wise men to deliver a message to Lesnar at WrestleMania and fighting to beat him on Sunday fighting to kill him. Instead of throwing his hands up, Femi was one ready to defend himself and even looked over his shoulder. I think that was a nice little segment. WWE's really allowed their superstars to use the word kill. I think it was a great segment, and Femi looked good, building up the match even more. Before we got the Penta v Javon Evans match to kick off the in-ring portion of the show, Penta caught Javon early mid-fight. The two exchanged encounters and reversals before a challenger launched himself into a rope and into the champ. Penta regained control of the super kick and caught Evans mid-air when the young OG saw him out of the ring and sent him back first into the commentary table. Back from a breaker, recovered Evans' deal with the Sakai knee, then added an OG cutter, but his frantic challenger could only keep his opponent down for two. Near falls were delivered until Evans delivered a big top right Hurricane Rana and tried for an OG cutter. Penta countered with a kick. When the champ tried for a Mexican destroyer, Evans caught him really, then tried for the finisher again, but Penta countered with a backstabber, adding the flipping diving powerbomb driver for the win. Let's get a 7 out of 10 for me. This was a really good match, especially the finishing stretch. I thought both men did really well here. Evans teasing frustration at the end could set up an intriguing little storyline as well. So yeah, good stuff. As Joe Hendry came into the ring to sing Final Logan Paul, Austin Theory attacked him with a steel chair and beat the former NXT champ down and concluded his vicious assault with another chair shot, this time to his head and neck as he was indirect. Backstage, Seth Rollins tried to talk some sense into Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits, encouraging him to work out with the Architect to take out the Vision while it was at its weakest. Montez Ford interrupted as the tensions between him and Rollins reared their head again, leading to a match between them being made later in the show. The beatdown for Theory was short and sweet. It was not overthought, nor was it over, but the tag champs did exactly as he promised. Heyman got heat of his own as well, which was nice. But it's been a while since anyone really brought up Rollins' history of betraying, so yeah, that's an interesting little one as well. Before we moved on to Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the rivalry between Judgment Day and Enduro, Bayley and Lyra kind of continued here, and Perez and Rodriguez jumped their opponents for the bell, and despite a momentary onslaught from the faces, sustained control of the match when Big Money called over a crossbody that would have wiped both out. 7 minutes of heel control gave Voice Valkyrie, creating the separation needed with a hot tag to Bayley that exploded. As the action broke down, Liv Morgan was ejected. Again, Dom tried to interfere on behalf of the heels in the match by sliding into Continental Champion to Perez. A tug of war led to the title coming to Dirty Dom and Bayley, capitalising with the roll-up of the Prodigy for the win. And yeah, the match was fine, a few disjointed spots hurt the overall quality, but yeah, I think Valkyria did a good job selling here. Mysterio raiding to Perez kind of added to the intrigue here, and I think, yeah, continued the storyline in a pretty fine way. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. LA Knight then hit the ring for the promo during an enormous reaction before addressing a few things, including the start King of the Ring next week, entering his name in the mix, and said if he wins, he would immediately target Roman. Where does that leave me with the Usos? Jimmy interrupted and said he has a lot of respect for Knight and claimed that if the Megastar wins, he will get a fair shot at Reigns. Knight took issue with the way the Usos have done things lately and suggested that Jimmy is allowing himself to become the OTC's errand boy again. Uso threatened to make his family business Knight's business if he's not careful. The babyface balked at that threat and told him he'll put the family out of business if the bloodline's not careful. It may have been a little long-winded, but this was a great promo, accomplishing several things and setting things up for a very intriguing feud between Knight and the family. But also, I'm really intrigued by that match as well when King of the Ring. Before we got Montez Ford versus Seth Rollins, the product of another tense confrontation backstage, squaring off for this match. A back and forth match sustained early coming out of the break, with neither men able to gain a consistent upper hand. Counters and reversals, a series of trading near falls and pedigree from Rollins only kept Ford down for the two that followed. The former world champ again pleaded his case to an opponent who answered with a slap to the face. Rollins responded with defiance to a pair of buckle bombs, only to be sent to the floor with Hurricane Rana. Ford's trademark tope over the ring post followed, as did a frog splash, but he couldn't keep the Architect down. The tag specialist threw a caution to the win one last time, a 450 flash, but missed, allowing Rollins to pick up the glory win following a desperation stomp. And yet, nearly 5 years after the past profile match against Roman Reigns, Ford proved once again he can be a great singles match. It was a great match, instantly putting him on the map, and I feel really could portray him. It'd be interesting to see where he goes as well. But Theory reappearing after the match as well with another brutal assault just keeps it all interesting and several moving parts in there. So yeah, good stuff. Before the next match, Ford interrupted Rollins and Adam Pearce and finally agreed that the Architect they need to be united against the Vision. In the arena, Ethan Page joined Graves and Cole on commentary as Mysterio and Rusev squared off, looking to build an intimacy to pursue the IC title. The Bulgarian Brute controlled the action overwhelmingly, with the Hall of Fame with his side strength and fury as he whipped him into the barricade hell break. A springboard into a Bulldog threatening Mysterio comeback, but Rusev came off with a Uranagi for a 2. A match kick also failed to put the Luchador away. The heel caught Mysterio in a 6-1-9 attempt, but the masked competitor answered with a quick roll up for the win. After the match, Rusev attempted an attack only for Dragon Lee to make the save and fending heels off. He stood tall and Mysterio closed things out. And yeah, this was fairly strong. Lee returning is a nice surprise as well. Where he fits in the title picture is a bit weird, but there's so much talent. But yeah, I thought it was a fun match and yeah, an intriguing angle to finish. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Jacob Fatu then wasted no time putting pen to paper, signing a contract for the Tribal Combat on Sunday. He then showed the unpredictability and chaos that follows him by tossing 2 official chairs at the table and security in the ringside area. Reigns made his way to the ring, signing on the dotted line, ordering Pearce and security from the ring so he could address his cousin. He predictably claimed he would make Fatu acknowledge him. The top contender admitted that Reigns is the reason the bloodline is leaving as it is now, but called into question whether the Tribal Chief did things honourably at Backlash, reminding him that he easily explained his turnbuckle to pick up a tainted win. Reigns reminded him of the world of consequences. If Reigns leaves, he will acknowledge Fatu. If not, the Smile Werewolf has to serve at her table. Both engaging, they catch the audience's attention, even when I have to say it's more of the same as we have heard countless times. With that said, there's nothing new of substance that we haven't heard. Split the differences and we were slightly above average main event, only because it did not end with another Tom Death Gripper or a wild and chaotic brawl. But yeah, wasn't a huge amount new to it. Overall this week gets 7 out of 10 from me. It was a strong show ahead of Clash and FC. The opening segment and closing segments put over the brand's most prominent contribution to the Sunday show, while the unfortunate injury to Soul Records kind of stopped her. The in-ring action was excellent, with Rollins and Ford, Penta and Evans, Mysterio and Russo all having strong mountings. The women's tag division was fine as well, with the potential showdown between Bayley and Liv is interesting, and in addition, Theory in the latest season, Maxine and Dupree aligning with the Vision. Yeah, there's a lot of intriguing stuff going on that makes it get a 7 out of 10 from me. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.